Ryan Nordahl here with Epic Whitetail Habitat LLC coming at you. Sorry for these rough videos, no editing or anything, but I'm just keeping it real like I keep everything else. I'm just in here building some beds for these deer, utilizing a little bit of hinge cutting. What I'm doing to enhance the thermal, I'm positioning these deer to lay the way I want them to lay, and whether they do it or not all depends on what I do for a trail camera in here. You know, trail cameras are the proof in the pudding for me, I guess, and I'll try to get one in here. But along with my corridor back behind here to the east, it's about 10 yards from here, I'm going down through my travel corridor about every 30 or 40 yards, pulling branches down for licking branches. I'm in here, I've raked all the ground foliage away, shoveled it out, leveled this out, and hopefully we can get a deer to bed here. They won't necessarily lay underneath this hinge cut all the time, but in adverse weather they will get in here. They will seek out this bedding area, this overhead cover. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling some of the smaller trees, some of the smaller maple trees, some of the smaller elm trees that are in here, pulling them down over this to act as thermal cover and a little bit of overhead protection for adverse weather purposes. Mainly hinge cutting, no, is for side cover, but in adverse weather they will seek out the overhead cover. So that's my little tip on this today. If you're creating beds, if you're into creating beds, you want a level surface. If you're on a side hill, you want to dig into the ground as much as you can, get it leveled out. I like to keep my beds about 3 feet wide and about 5 to 6 feet long. You got to remember the size of a mature buck, mature doe that are laying in these beds, and you want to make it as comfortable as possible. Getting any sticks, roots, anything, as much of that stuff out of the bed as possible, making it as 100% comfortable as you can be for a deer. Imagine yourself laying in a bed with a bunch of spikes or whatever, nails, whatever, poking you, sticks. It's not comfortable. How do you think a deer feels? It's the same with our cows in the barn. We want to keep them bedded, nice thick bed as much as we can to keep them comfortable. So that's a little bit here today. I'm just taking some simple paracord here, bringing some of these trees down, tying them down, creating a little bit of a overhead, creating more side cover, thermal cover in here as well. So that's my little tip here today. Again, any trees that come down, if there's any branches hanging down, I'll clear them out with my handsaw as well. Just simple little tools that you can use to hopefully benefit you and increase your deer sightings this coming season. Thanks for joining me.